I want to give you a little history. Back in 2002, under the direction of Jim Grigsby, the fire department went through an ISO review. And during that process, our ISO review took us from an ISO 3 down to an ISO 2 classification. In 2013, we had another review done by ISO. We went from, and we stayed a solid Class 2 organization. In 2014, under the new structure and the new rating schedule, the department's classification remained unchanged. As a result, the fire department requested a reevaluation to include areas that we felt improvements were made, as well as areas under the new rating system we felt should strengthen our overall score. As a result, I am pleased to announce today, this morning, that the City of Roanoke Fire-EMS Department has received the highest rating issued by ISO and is now a Class 1 fire department. All right. ISO 1 class represents superior property fire protection for our community. Roanoke is the newest department to join the rank of only 5 departments in the Commonwealth and only one of 132 in our nation. That reflects 0.06% of the fire departments in the nation are Class 1. Wow. 0.6%. I would like to recognize at this time also Skip Gibson, Manager of ISO and Community Hazard Mitigation, and Ed Kinsler, our Regional ISO Representative. They're over there in the corner trying to stay out of the media way, but they have been instrumental in guiding us through this process and giving us the information we need to know in order to achieve this monumental goal. ISO grades the fire department in 4 areas. It grades the fire department itself, what we do day in and day out, and that's worth 50 points. It also grades the water system and how much water we have available to suppress our fires. It grades our communication center, our 911 center, and how quick and how quickly we process calls. And it also grades, which is new to this grading system, our community risk reduction. And that is, how do we keep our community safe? How do we prevent fires from occurring to begin with? This achievement would not be possible without the support and partnerships of the Western Virginia Water Authority and our 911 Center. The fire department has an exceptional working relationship with Gary Robertson and his staff, some of which are here today. This relationship fosters sharing of information about water flow and our ability to have input on enhancements to the city's water system. This is critical when we have this is critical so that we have the necessary water available to ensure that our firefighters have the water to put out the fires. Gary, on behalf of the City of Roanoke and the fire department, we appreciate your support. We appreciate your relationship with the fire department and all the men and women that work for the Water Authority. Next is communications. Call processing times and how do they handle the calls and how quickly they get the calls out to our staff is key to making sure that we make a quick response. Sonia Roman, which is over here in the back, our manager of 911 is here as well. And like the Water Authority, we have an excellent working relationship with our 911 center. Sonia and her staff have always been willing to step up to the plate and help us out and work with us as we go through things that need to be modified, changed, so that we can do our job better. So Sonia, thank you and your staff for all the hard work that you do. Without these type of relationships, a Class 1 will not be possible for our community. Community risk reduction, one of the newest components added to ISO. And this is an area that ISO rating system has enabled the departments to receive credit for community risk reduction and fire prevention initiatives. Going out and doing inspections in our businesses, going out and doing public education, going out and embracing our community to be fire safe is vitally important. I'm a chief. When I got promoted to chief in 2007, my goal was to make Roanoke a fire safe community. I'd much rather not see these trucks go out the door and keep our fires down than the trucks go out the door and we have fire loss. Tiffany Bradbury and Daniel Rakes head up our community risk reduction programs. And they do a phenomenal job, from our community walks to our fire inspections to our smoke detector programs to our fire safety practices, and we get out and engage our community. Recently, the City of Roanoke, in partnership with the Virginia Fire Chiefs Association and the Virginia Department of Fire Programs, hosted a Community Risk Reduction Summit. This summit was a first of its kind in the nation, and it was very successful, hosted right here. As a spinoff from that, the individuals from ISO came in and were part of that summit, and they actually highlighted that summit in a national publication and used that as a model for other fire departments across our nation. So with that, we really are trying to set the trend to where we need to be as far as community risk reduction. Lastly is the fire department, the most points that you can achieve as it relates to ISO. The men and women of Roanoke Fire Department work very hard every day, and without the passion, dedication of our staff, a Class 1 rating would never be possible. From our firefighters, to our captains, to our battalion chiefs, all the way up to the executive level, we strive to make decisions that move our department forward and strengthen our abilities to serve our community. A Class 1 rating by ISO symbolizes the significance of these efforts. This achievement would also not be, the Class 1 ISO achievement would also not be possible without the support of the city leaders, Chris Morrill, Sherman Stovall, assistant city managers, and elected officials, and our mayor. So thank you very much for all that you've done to support the fire department. In closing, I'll say that I'm very humbled to be chief of such a great department. It is my honor to present the mayor, members of council, Chris Morrill, and most important, our citizens, an ISO Class 1 fire department. Again, I wish to thank Gary Robertson, Sonia Roman, and the men and women who work for our department for all the hard work they do in making this day possible. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chief Hoback. We're very proud of you. Congratulations to the command staff and all the men and women of our internationally accredited Roanoke Fire Department, Fire-EMS Department. We're very proud of all of you. I'm delighted to be here with you on this really not very wintry day, I guess, yet, but on a very nice day here in Roanoke for this very exciting news. This is not only exciting, this is big news, and it's great news for our city. I'm also delighted to recognize again Chief Grigsby. I think Chief Hoback indicated he'd retired 2 or 3 times. I hope you have a whole lot more success at retiring than I've had. I can, I wanted to also give a shout out to our cadets with the police department and the law and the fire department. Just raise your hand. And how about a nice round of applause for our cadets as well? Nice to have you with us. This is really big and great news. You know, let me tell you, in case you don't know, I have a couple other jobs. I'm also a lawyer, and I'm a professor. And as I was coming here to this event, I thought, well, in a way, I've just been lawyering. I was just in court. And as a lawyer, I put out fires all the time. My clients are always in scrapes, and I'm the one that tried to help them douse the flames and go on, patch up their lives and go on. But I'm not a professional firefighter like the men and women of our Roanoke Fire-EMS department. They're a professional team. And then the other job I have is as a professor. I'm an adjunct professor at Virginia Western, where I teach government. And so I thought, well, that kind of ties in with this also, because how many of my students want to get a B? How many of them want to get an A? Well, in a sense, that's what this certification by the Insurance Service Office of Virginia has given to the City of Roanoke is an A+ grade. So for being a professional fire department, a fire EMS department, and now being recognized as a superior fire EMS department here in our Commonwealth, this is a remarkable achievement. It is worthy of note, and it's worthy of congratulations. The assessment is of fire protection efforts in our community. As the chief indicated, there are 4 or 5 departments in Virginia only that have this Class 1, and I wrote down a couple of the names, Hampton and Fairfax. There were a couple others as well, perhaps. But this is a great achievement. And Chief, as you said, you set your goal, as did previous administrations, to raise the level of firefighting ability here in our community. And going from one level to the other, I'm told, from the Class 3 to Class 2, is really a benefit to the homeowners of our community. It helps to keep down the increases in fire insurance rates for our homeowners. And now that we have arrived at this Class 1 A grade, A+ grade from the ISO, that will mean hopefully some fire insurance savings for the many businesses, stores, retail outlets, and hotels here in Roanoke, because they will now be protected not only by an internationally accredited department, but also by a superior department, rated superior for property fire protection. This is an objective rating. It is a country-wide rating, and I believe I heard the chief say there were only about 150? 132. 132. Well, politicians tend to exaggerate a little bit, you know. But 132 departments in the nation, and as he indicated, we're in the top 1% of the nation's fire departments. We're superior because we have a superior chief. We have a superior history of supporting our fire department here in this community. We have superior command and superior management, superior planning, superior budgeting for facilities like this and our other new facilities around the city, our superior equipment, our superior personnel, and our superior training. It's all a mark of being a superior fire EMS department for, may I say, a superior all-America city. Congratulations. We're really very proud of receiving this award. Congratulations to you. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. I did want to pass up this chance to really congratulate our chief and the whole team of folks who worked to make this happen. It really is a great day for Roanoke and for our professional staff who are so dedicated to this community. I've been in local government for 30 years, worked in 5 different communities. The last place I was in for 20 years, we worked hard to get an ISO 1, worked really hard and never made it. There was still an ISO 2 when I left. And so when I got here and I knew it was a goal and understand how really difficult it is, it really takes strong teamwork, it takes investment, it takes training, it takes superior staff, as the mayor said, and to be able to stand here and say that we have achieved an ISO 1 really is a huge thing for this community. And I think people don't realize that, citizens choose to live and businesses choose to locate for many reasons. Often they may look at the schools, they may look at parks and libraries or downtown, but they don't consider fire service. And this is a matter of life and death. The fact that we have an ISO 1, the highest rating you can possibly get, means that you're going to be safer. You and your family will be safer. Your businesses will be safer here. And that will be reflected in lower insurance rates. But more importantly, you're going to be safe here. And it's because of the dedicated folks who are helping to make this happen. And so I'm so proud to be part of this team. And again, want to congratulate them for what they've done. Thank you so much.
Again, I want to really thank everybody that had a part in making this happen. And again, I shout back out to Gary and his staff and to Sonia and her staff. And then the gentlemen in the back that are wearing the white shirts that really, lead the organization on a daily basis and drive the change that needs to be made that led up to where we are today. I tell you, it's without those individuals, we will not be here today. But again, thank you for coming. This is really exciting news for our community, and thank you very much.
Nice. Good work.